All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game between. Oh, hey, Scott. Well, thank you for the patron pledge. All right, hello, everyone, and now, yeah, $5. Yeah, that actually goes a long way towards paying for all of my bills. Thank you very much. Yeah. If you guys want to support me through Patreon, through Twitch Prime, through Bits, or any of that, all of that is greatly appreciated. Still trying to do probably about 10 to 15 casts a week is my goal. Sometimes I hit it, sometimes I don't. But I do think I will be getting a little bit more time in the future. Anyways, let's go ahead and break things down. This is going to be a human versus orc matchup here on Northern Isle. Sok has spawned as the purple human player over here on the top right-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Soin spawning as the maroon. It's a little bit darker than your typical red. So the maroon orc player over here on the bottom left. Now, human versus orc in this 1v1 matchup should be a very great game. Hopefully things do not disappoint, as we are going into your standard barracks. Ultra of Storms will be a Farseer, so Soin may be going for some sort of harassment play. Human players are still pretty much forced to go for that Archmage, as the Archmage just makes everything a little bit better, very easy to level up, and none of the other heroes, besides maybe the Mountain King, Paladin against Undead First, is really a very strong primary hero. It almost seems like going for the Archmage first so that you can get the Mountain King and the other heroes later is just a better overall strategy, because the Archmage is such a glass cannon. That's actually one of the reasons why so many players I'm more scared of a level 5 Mountain King than I am a level 5 Archmage. But if you go for Mountain King first and then your Archmage second, the Archmage ends up becoming a liability. It's not that strong. By itself, it doesn't have any way to really level up early on or have any sustainability like the Shadow Hunter, and that's really the problem there. All right, Archmage gonna go ahead and go after the Ogre Warrior creep camp there, be able to take it down. Meanwhile, on the far side, Soin going in to take down all of these Murlocs. Creep camps have been cleared out. Farseer does pick up a Wand of Illusion, and we'll see how that is going to be used. Archmage now still wandering around over here. Are we going to be looking at some sort of militia clear? No, we are not. We are going quickly into a scout tower. So Sok, perhaps understanding that Soin may try to go for a bit of a harassment pull, decides to back up here. Meanwhile, it looks as though one Spirit Wolf could have been taken down. Murlocs will get taken down here. Farseer going to try and deny, and I'm not sure who got the experience. I believe the Archmage did. Farseer just a little bit late right there continually. There it goes. Archmage gets up to level 2. Meanwhile, Spirit Wolves being forced back by Sok, as Sok doing a good job just constantly maintaining all of that there. All right, Footman, who got the experience? Let's take a look. Farseer still did not get it. Soin, a little bit of bad luck there, trying to do some harassment, but didn't really get the necessary damage off. Now, during the early stages, they're just going to be doing some simple skirmishes back and forth, and what you're trying to do is, you're not really trying to shut down your opponent as you are trying to harass them and making it difficult for them to transition into the mid-game. It is difficult to try and stop an orc player because of this Voodoo Lounge, and the fact that healing salves are very efficient on healing one unit at a time. Farseer is going to try and come across here. Look at this. Archmage is back across over here. Who's going to get the experience? Archmage does get the experience. Kicks up a Cloak of Shadows. Meanwhile, Footman, beautiful use of the Cloak of Shadows right there to try and fight back here. Archmage, what is he going to do? The Archmage could try and engage here in just a moment. Could go after the Spirit Wolves. You see an ensnare onto a Grunt here. And this could be Soin's. Well, nope. Sok did not take the opportunity to try and go for a 4-unit surround, allowing that Grunt, well, to take a little bit more damage, it appears, as Soin now down to 237 on that Grunt. All right, Grunt now running back the other opposite way. Meanwhile, Farseer can be coming in from the north, trying to get in more harassment, and these Murloc hunters just throwing nets all over the place to try and do a bit of disruption. Grunt gonna take a lot of damage once again, but as I said before, you're never gonna really get that much more experience. As you're gonna take a look, Farseer, is it gonna resummon the wolf? No, it does not. Archmage does get that little bit of experience again, as the Murloc is still attacking that Farseer here. All right, Grunt down to 200 or 244 hit points as it is going to back away. This one down to 247 as the units are going to be in full retreat. Now, Saw could take this opportunity to try and put pressure on his opponent, making him waste away those healing salves. Instead, the Archmage is going to try and steal a little bit of experience from the other side. However, this could be a little bit of an overstay here as the Farseer does not get the... Actually, I do not believe the Farseer gets the experience. All right, Grunt could be in trouble trying to fight back here. Let's take a look. Tauren Chieftain. Tauren Chieftain could walk up to it, stomp it. Yeah, you saw it. You knew what was going to happen right there. There could have been a potential stomp right there, revealing that Archmage. And as soon as that Archmage said, you know what, I see a Tauren Chieftain ready to put his foot down, I need to back off. Scroll of Town Portal was burned right there. Beautifully done. Archmage, however, did not have an Arcane Vault as of yet, and that is going to set him behind the 8-ball again. Mid portion of the game, Sock's Archmage has taken a little bit too much damage, and he's kind of going to be frozen in his tracks for a little bit until the Arcane Vault is up. He's going to use a healing salve. He's going to maybe use a clarity potion, try to get up some additional casters as well. And this is buying time for Sowin to come up and perhaps do a little bit of catch up. Back across over here, Mountain King is going to be added, and during all of that early harassment, well, Sowin now has a much larger, has a much stronger army here. Going to finish off the remaining units. Tauren Chieftain sitting at level 1 will get to level 2. That Endurance Aura will be incredibly helpful as the Spirit Walkers are already out on the field. Tauren Totem. Summoning those Spirit Walkers. I really like this redesign of the Spirit Walker coming in from the Tauren Totem. That opens up a lot of different types of strategies, as it also allows Orc players to have a Tauren Totem up before Tier 3. So right as Tier 3 is done, they can trade up or build up that very, very strong Tier 3 unit. Alright, Null Overseer will get taken down. Tauren Chieftain now has Vampiric Aura. That's going to be incredibly helpful to this army of Grunts and Raiders, as, well, anytime they are engaging and fighting, they will be getting a 10% hit point heal. Archmage sitting at level 3. Farseer Illusion just wandering around here. Sorceress is joining in on the fight. Mountain King on the board with some experience, but not yet at level 2. Now, if the Farseer can get to level 3 here, that is going to be incredibly important. If the Farseer perhaps can back off, no healing salves anywhere, and that's going to be a problem. The Tauren Chieftain is not going to be conditioned for the next fight if it happens before some sort of retreat back home. Spirit Walkers are here ready to go. Tauren Chieftain picks up a Tome of Strength. Tauren Chieftain now sitting at level 3. Vampiric Aura, Endurance Aura on that Tauren Chieftain. Endurance Aura being the level 1 variety. 3-3 going up against a 3, I believe, 2 Mountain King, trying to get to level 3 here. Has an Ankh of Reincarnation and is currently a bit slowed. Raiders had a perfect prime opportunity to try and get some ensnares off, as the Tauren Chieftain still heading back off to the north here. Alright, Mountain King ready to go. Let's take a look at this. Raiders unit's going to go ahead and just drop on over. Where's the Farseer you're going to head off to? Tauren Chieftain still looking to back up. He wants to heal back up a little bit more, as we could be seeing perhaps trying to get up to level 4 before that next fight and next battle happens. The Mountain King does become significantly stronger once it gets to level 3. The damage difference between level 1 and level 2 Stormbolt is significant enough, as the Mountain King can easily pick off units with that little bit of additional damage. Farseer still wandering around here. Tauren Chieftain, both sides sitting at 49, 48 supply. Are they building reserves? What are they looking to do? Raiders now going to go ahead and engage down here. Do they have... it looks like, yes, there is in fact Pillage. So Pillage being used very successfully as the Tauren Chieftain gets arcane feedback pretty much into oblivion. The Raiders are going to be able to get in a lot of damage here. Farseer, what is happening, as you can take a look, Chain Lightning. Farseer is trying to finish off some of those units, trying to pick those off. The Farseer can perhaps come back around and Chain Lightning down a handful of units. There's a Scroll of Speed. Stormbolt onto a Raider. Farseer Chain Lightnings takes down 2 peons, and then takes down a 3rd peasant as well. Alright, Raider is a little, now, well, significantly slowed as the Scroll of Speed comes to an end. Mountain King is currently invisible, still has a good amount of mana on him. So it will be full and ready to go in that upcoming fight. Mountain King keeping track of all of this right here, keeping track of that army. Archmage is right there. There's a Stormbolt straight up onto the Spirit Walker. Spirit Walker could get taken down. Spirit Link cast, goes into the ethereal form. Thunder clapped to death. Clapped to death right there as the units are now in a massive retreat once more. Sock losing an additional grunt and may also lose a raider. These raiders were actually all split across multiple units as the Farseer repositions itself for an easy exit. Good use of Scroll of Town Portal there. Meanwhile, So-In is actually getting taxed 30% tax right now just by being at by being at 54 supply, not the position he wants to be in. He's behind economically, even though he has a larger army, as the Wind Riders are now getting added. We are at Stronghold. We are not at Fortress. No Lightning Orb will be available to try and disrupt those Water Elementals. Alright, let's take a look back off to the north. Oh, Invisible Footman keeping track of the army. Well, devilish. As the Farseer picks up a new Scroll of Town Portal and will be ready to move on out. Spellbreakers finish off the remaining units here. Let's take a look. Skeletal Minions trying to do a little bit of a chase back, as we may just see hit and run tactics once more. As long as it is properly executed, those hit and run tactics can in fact deal a lot of damage. Tauren Chieftain gonna go ahead and get a big shockwave off. A huge shockwave going across all of those units there, as the Arcane Tower will get taken down. Alright, Scroll of Town Portal here, ready to go. Tauren Chieftain does have enough mana, throws in a shockwave for good measure to hit across multiple peasants, and that's gonna force, well, a grunt who did not realize where he was to be in a bad spot. Tauren Chieftain, Clarity Potion, not really any more healing. Let's take a look. If he's trying to rinse and repeat that strategy over and over again, well, he needs to be able to get multiple shockwaves off onto those peasants before they get healed. Now, So-In does have an expansion over here at what I'll call the 6 o'clock position. So So-In is currently still up economically. This red actually blends in a little bit more. So does the purple on this minimap. My apologies. As the Wind Riders now make their way over here to the Goblin Laboratory. Now, this Farseer illusion, what does it really spot? Meanwhile, back down across over here, Web Spinners and Arachnids all getting taken. Arachnids? Now all getting finished off here. Overlord Arachnid will get taken down. Command Aura will be lost right there, as the Tauren Chieftain picks up a second Talisman of Evasion. Alright, one Talisman of Evasion is equivalent approximately to, I believe, Ring of Protection +3. So if a Ring of Protection +3 actually was given to the Tauren Chieftain, that might actually work out much better, as the Tauren Chieftain now makes its way over here, not going to wake up those creep camps and figure out where he's going to go next. So-In is sitting at 70 over 70 supply. Sock sitting at 56 over 60. I do not believe Sock realizes that So-In has the economic advantage. That is a very big deal, as we're looking at the Tauren Chieftain still wandering around. There is a problem though. The heroes have not really been leveling up, and now the Mountain King and Archmage is sitting at level 4 and almost level 4 as well. Dragonhawk Riders are also playing the invisibility card, so they will be able to come across and shackle these Wind Riders. That is going to be a very potential problem once again, as we're going to take a look where are all of these units going to be going. All right, there's the Spirit Link, there is a Thunderclap, there's the Shackle, there's one, there's two. Are we going to see a third Shackle? Nope, now all of a sudden they are going to be ensnared down, as the units are now trying to fight back here. Alright, Archmage dropping in some Water Elementals. Dragonhawk Riders now in the skies, shackling down units, and So-In caught completely off guard in a difficult spot. Does he have enough to try and finish off all of these units here? Alright, the Shackle is going to start to take hold. Wind Riders are getting picked off, and now that means that all of the casters in the backfield are doing a much better job as well. Sock at 56 compared to So-In at 67. Well, some of those Dragonhawk Riders are getting taken down and ensnared. What is going across? All the units are getting countered left and right, as we're taking a look at units now in full retreat. All right, Stormbolt onto a Raider. That will get taken down. Mountain King trying to chase after all of those units. The Tauren Chieftain with the Endurance Aura Is it going to really matter? Mountain King could try to throw off another Stormbolt. There it goes. There's the Stormbolt, and that one unit will get, well, saved. All right, Farseer units are all now looking to back up again. Sock, the definite victor in that battle. Archmage is at 4. Mountain King is at 4. Tauren Chieftain should be at, oh yeah, Farseer is at 4. Tauren Chieftain is at 3 now after losing a large amount of, higher tier, higher supply units. Now, I still don't believe Sock knows about this expansion down to the south. And if he doesn't know about that expansion, well, he may misjudge his army size and may misjudge what I believe his opponent's army size. Let's take a look at this. There's one invisible footman keeping track of all of this. He's going to come across this, see that this gold mine is, well, nearly mined out already, but a bunch of shackle across over here. Dragonhawk Riders getting taken down. Thunderclap coming across. Multiple units are getting slowed down as the Dragonhawk Rider now trying to retreat. Chain Lightning going across multiple units as those Spellbreakers now causing problems. All right, Grunt could get taken down. Tauren Chieftain down to 169. Just finish off some of those Grunt units, and that will be the end of that. Finishing off, wow, a Grunt right there. No, the Grunt still not down. Where is that footman going? That footman going way too deep. Now being forced to retreat back. No, he just threw himself on someone else's sword. Sock now clearing up this expansion and should have no problem whatsoever. Soin still has a larger army though, and that is going to be a potential issue. However, Sock is about to get to level 5 on both of his primary heroes. There goes another troll, another Bat Rider. Archmage should be dropping off more water elementals here. Mountain King needs to get away. A big shockwave comes across as we see a shackle now onto the Wind Rider here, trying to finish off some more units. Are we going to see one Wind Rider getting taken down? Mountain King does not have that much mana. There it goes. Gets up to level 5. Finishes off the Wind Rider. And now the last remaining units here will get picked up or picked off again. Soin sitting at 52 supply right now. Peasants getting taken down. There they go. As the Mountain King is at 5. And the Archmage is also at 5. Economic expansions nowhere near or nowhere to be found by Sock, and that really is a very big deal considering that there was about a 4,000 gold advantage by Soin. Soin had an economic advantage going in, but Sock was able to fight much more efficiently, captured a bunch of Wind Riders early with those shackles, and traded effectively enough to now have the hero level advantage. Tauren Chieftain sitting at level 4, Farseer sitting at level 4. Both of them will not be able to level up at all, as the Tauren Chieftain and Soin needs to rethink their strategy for the next stage. Dragonhawk Riders invisibility. Such a strong scouting ability to keep track and know where your opponent is. Knowing is half the battle, so to speak, to quote what, an 80s cartoon. And as we're looking at the Tauren Chieftain now finishing on the Tusker Warrior. All right, a shackle coming across here. As we're going to see another shackle come across here. Stormbolts could be ready. Mountain King, is it going to try and Stormbolt anything? Trying to go after some of those units. It could go ahead and just take down that Spirit Walker. There it goes. Could try and finish off a Grunt. That Grunt is already down to 339 hit points. Will get finished off. No Stormbolt needed. Just a bunch of magic from those casters in the back line. Soin is in so much trouble. Or is in trouble. As we take a look, Orc Burrows will get taken down here. They do have fortified armor upgrades, meaning the casters are not going to be doing as much damage. But the economic advantage and the army has been neutralized, and the army size and hero advantage of Sock may be too much to overcome. Archmage at level 5, nearly at level 6. Main stronghold about to get taken down. Dragonhawk Riders now making their way over to perhaps try and offer a bit of protection. There's one Spellbreaker here, one Guard Tower. A big shockwave goes across multiple units as the Tauren Chieftain just wants to get to level 5. If the Tauren Chieftain can get to level 5, shockwaves will do a whole bunch of damage. Well, I guess that works. He got Shockwave to do a whole bunch of damage by Shockwaving down all of those peasants. All right, a lot of peasants now lost. They will need to be retrained up. Tauren Chieftain now retreating back. Level 2 Endurance Aura. Where are all of these units going to be going next as the, well, Raiders now make their way over here to the top right. Expansions getting checked out. Sok has a 59 supply army compared to So-In's 39. We are looking at only a level 4 Farseer. Clarity potions being used and will be used by the Tauren Chieftain as well. Dust of Appearance reveals absolutely nothing. No footmen nearby to try and keep track of the unit here. Alright, those Spellbreakers are going to be the majority of the problem. The Spellbreakers are immune to the Tauren Chieftain's, well, magical ways, and are also immune to Stomp. We don't see that many, well, we don't see any Tauren out on the field as the Dragonhawk Riders are still wandering around here. Farseer does have a Dust of Appearance. Is it going to perhaps be used in time? Mountain King is right there. There's a Stormbolt straight up onto the Raider. Raider going to get taken down. There it goes as the Mountain King says thank you very much. And more invisible Mountain King antics. Alright. Walking around in invisible dwarf throwing hammers that just absolutely paralyze or stun you for about 5 seconds. Well, you might as well be paralyzed as the remaining army shows up to clean off, well, to clean you up before you're able to move again. So-In sitting at 42 supplies, Sok sitting at 60 over 60. Surprised that Sok is not actually going into higher upkeep or a higher supply count since he is currently in low upkeep. He has plenty, or he could be training up more units and not really be paying the tax there. Farseer is here, ready to go. There is Spirit Link. Oh, his Zeppelin now picked up there. No Shackle, but it is currently slowed. Gonna go ahead and try and disenchant as the Goblin Zeppelin down to 124 hit points is gonna go ahead and get dropped. There is a big stomp right there. Dragonhawk Rider was on the ground. I don't believe he was actually affected by that stomp as the Tauren Chieftain now needs to try and get away. Taking a lot of damage. Units are just falling left and right. Tauren Chieftain is in trouble, down to 246. Trying to get back, throws a shockwave through enemy lines as the Spellbreakers are unable. Well, there is a Stormbolt onto the Farseer. There it goes. And we're most likely would have seen a dead Tauren Chieftain as well. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Well, So-In unable to recover as Sok takes the game here. Oh, waiting for the Tauren Chieftain. There he goes.